Hello everyone, my name is Christine and today I wanted to share about my favorite day of the week, and that is Saturday. Saturday is the day that we were given as a gift to honor the Sabbath. And so I wanted to share a bit about what the Sabbath is, why I honor it for rest, and why I think that you should too. So if you're feeling drained, and if you feel like you just need a break, you need some kind of new routine to help you have a more sustainable lifestyle, the Sabbath is likely for you. And I know it is because God gave it as a gift to all of mankind, not just for me, not just for people who call themselves Christians. Literally, He gave it as a gift for everyone. It's basically in our DNA that we need to honor the Sabbath for our own health, for our own well-being. So let's get into it. For those of you who don't know, the Sabbath was a day set apart by God in the Bible where he sanctified this day as a day of rest. And it is basically a 24-hour period. So not only is it meant to be honored on Saturday, it starts from Friday sunset and ends Saturday sunset. So it's basically a 24-hour period where you are to rest and take just time away from all the work of the week and just spend this one 24-hour period of the week to take a break from anything, all of life's stressors, as much as possible. Sometimes it's hard to get away from completely everything, but a day where you are intentional about just avoiding doing anything that is draining or taxing for you so that you ultimately can enjoy one day off and to rest. So I really love the Sabbath because in today's world, we can be so busy trying to reach our goals, trying to get work done, make money, do things around the house to have a good home. All these things are good things. There's nothing wrong with these things. It's just that if we're constantly on work mode 6 days, up to 7 days out of the week, then we get no reset day. So I essentially see the Sabbath as a reset day where we get to just take a break, restore our bodies, feel rejuvenated for the week to come. Then by Sunday, I literally feel so restored, or even Saturday night because it ends on sunset on Saturdays. I feel so restored and like I can tackle on everything that's to come for that week. So first off, why should we honor the Sabbath? Well, I have to answer that with the Bible, of course. So I looked at the Bible. There's so many verses on the Sabbath in the Bible, so it's hard to really just go over all of them in this video. But I will say I wanted to pick out ones that really stand out to me and that cover the basics of the Sabbath, at least to me. So I found 3 verses. The first verse is found in Genesis 2:1-3. Thus the heavens and earth and all the host of them were finished. And on the 7th day God ended his work which he had done, and he rested on the 7th day from all his work which he had done. Then God blessed the 7th day and sanctified it, because in it he rested from all his work which God had created and made. So in this verse, we're seeing that God, perfect, all-knowing, all-powerful, almighty, does not need to rest, but literally he created all the world and worked in 6 days, did so much, and on the 7th day is when he took a break from it all and rested. It doesn't say he rested because he was tired. It doesn't say he rested because, he just wanted to rejuvenate himself or anything. No, he rested and he just wanted to sanctify this day. And he sanctified it. Not only did he just rest on this day or choose any day of the week, he specifically chose the 7th day as the Sabbath day, and that is the day that he sanctified it. He didn't sanctify the first day of the week. He didn't sanctify the 3rd day of the week. He sanctified the 7th day of the week. So that's the day that God chose to keep as holy. And so when I look at this, I just think that if God honored this in all his glory and all his might, all Omega, he if he did this, how much more do we as humans who now live in a sinful world need to honor this day and need it not just to, honor God, but just need it for ourselves. And it is a day that we can honor God on it, but that's every day. So this day is specifically about rest and just rejuvenating, and also just resting in God as well, and keeping our attention on him throughout this day, rather than being so easily distracted from all the worries and cares of this world. So also, the way I see the Sabbath is it's a day to really prevent burnout and to have a sustainable lifestyle. So in today's society, we talk a lot now about trying not to burn out and to take self-care, take a wellness day off work. Like, certain companies have wellness days now. The Sabbath is literally a wellness day every single week. Like, you don't have to use hours or PTO or anything like that. It's literally a guaranteed day off every single week that we should be taking. And it is huge. It is so impactful and helps create a sustainable lifestyle where you can then go into the next week feeling like you can tackle all the goals you have, because it's a good thing to work. It's a good thing to have goals. God works and he has goals for us and for, his creation. That's why he created the earth in 6 days. But we are not to treat work as an idol. Like, we need to work, and it helps prevent burnout and helps us to be even more productive when we are restored, and helps us to be more fruitful as well. I want to go back to the part where I said God specifically sanctified this day as the Sabbath day. So God specifically sanctified it and made it holy. So we are not to just go ahead and then pick a different day and keep that as a Sabbath. That is not honoring the day that God intended for us. And God is very intentional. He's very purposeful. What if, for example, we were to celebrate our best friend's birthday on a different day? Let's say her birthday is on March 17, and you decide, well, I think more conveniently, I probably need to celebrate it on July 4. Like, that's the day I'm gonna celebrate it. It just stands out to me. It's already a holiday. Like, it's convenient for myself to honor the Sabbath, or to honor your birthday on July 4th rather than your birthday March 17. So that probably wouldn't feel good to your best friend, right? It would feel like, okay, she's not really doing this because in honor of my birthday. Like, that's her actual birthday. We celebrate holidays every year on the same day. So the Sabbath is no different. We are to honor the Sabbath on the 7th day, the day that God sanctified himself. So that is important because we're honoring his tradition that he started and remembering the gift that he gave to us at the beginning of creation. The second verse that I believe really stands out when it comes to the Sabbath, and if you didn't see this coming, you probably should have, it is the 10 Commandments. The Sabbath is mentioned in the 10 Commandments, and I feel like it does get overlooked, unfortunately, but it's so important. God gave the 10 Commandments to his people, the Israelites, when he was bringing them out of being slaves in Egypt. So he wanted to make a covenant with them. He wanted them to be his people. And so he asked them, do you want to be my people, my special chosen people that will be set apart from everybody else? And they said yes, they'll do whatever he asks. And so he then told them, okay, like, here's a covenant we can make to that if you follow this, you will be set apart and you will be so special. You will be a special people. Like, who doesn't want to be a special people with God? Like, come on now. If you know God and you know how special he is and how he can make things, like, you would not want to pass this up. And he's a good God too. He's a fair, good, loving God. There's no reason to pass this up. So he just gave them these commandments. This is how to live in order to be my people. This is the way to live life. So the Sabbath was given as the 5th commandment, and let's read what it says in Exodus. So the 10 commandments are in Exodus 21 through 17, and I'm reading the NKJV version. So it says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. In it you shall do no work, you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, nor your female servant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger who is within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in them, and rested the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. So here we see that God's even bringing it up again, bringing it back to creation. This is what I did. Like, this is what I want you to do. I want you to honor it the same way that I honored it. And in remembrance of him, basically, and just honoring that he is our creator. It's basically like honoring every single week that we are so grateful for him to be our creator. Honoring it on the day that he sanctified is really showing our love to him and our appreciation for everything that he's done for us. Looking at the 10 Commandments as a whole, when you read it, there's things that a lot of us as a society, we all, whether we're Christian or not, we all can pretty much agree that these things are what we are not to do in society as well, because we know they're bad. Things like do not murder, do not steal. These are things that would be considered breaking the law, right? Like, we do not accept these things in society. Do not lie. There's other things in there. Do not have any idols before God, like only worship God. That all makes sense. These things, when I look at the 10 Commandments, it seems like a theme of like common sense, almost like practicality. Back then, they didn't have this knowledge yet. They needed God to just break it down, super simple. This is what you're not to do, because back then they were doing stuff like that. So they needed to be taught very simple. This is how to be set apart from other people of this world. And here's just basic guidelines of how to do that. These 10 things, right? And so in these 10 things, there sits the Sabbath. That's the one that kind of stands out to me as the one that is not seen as very basic. That's the one that seems like it's the most like difficult to follow. The idol part too, I feel like people can have idols and not realize that they're having idols in their life and in their hearts, but that's another video for another day. But the Sabbath seems like the one that stands out to me as being pretty different. And so this is the one that when I look at it, I think the same thing. Like, this seems so foundational. This seems so almost like common sense pretty much, because God did it. God did it from the beginning of creation. Why wouldn't it be part of the 10 Commandments? Why wouldn't it be a basic way to live life for God? And as a basic foundation that as a people who want to be chosen by God and be his special people, we are to follow this day just like we do the other commandments. It seems like all these commandments are pretty equal to each other, and that includes the Sabbath day. It is not to be forgotten in the 10 Commandments. It is very much a part of just that basic foundation of how to follow God, and to then from there build on other ways to grow in a relationship with God. So the third verse is one found in Mark. So it is Mark 2:27. It says, "And he said to them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. Therefore the Son of Man is also Lord of the Sabbath." So that's Mark 2:27. Okay, so for this one, I see this as Jesus reminding people that the Sabbath was given to us as a gift. It was given to mankind as a gift. It's not given to us for us to then worship this idea of the Sabbath, where we need to honor the Sabbath in a way that it is almost like an idol, or like a part of God making us just do all these things on the Sabbath and follow a bunch of rules. Like, it's not that. When I look at this verse, it's a reminder, like, hey, like, when you honor the Sabbath, make sure that you're remembering the intention behind it. It's to just take a break and to have a gift, remembering that God is our creator, remembering him, drawing closer to him, nearer to him, not putting work as an idol, taking a break from all of the stresses of life, all of the different goals we have, and just resetting our bodies, our minds, our souls, our hearts, just recentering everything and just bringing it back to what life is all about, just being with our Heavenly Father, dwelling in the goodness of relationships we have with our families, our friends, our church communities, and appreciating the creation nature that God has allowed us to live in and has gifted us. So I see it as a gift. It's not something to be burdened by. We are not to be burdened by the Sabbath. We are to fully enjoy it. This is not something, even this video, it's not something where I'm like telling you, you need to do this. It's more just like, I really think that you would love this. Just like God wants us to just fully enjoy it. It's just such a gift. It's like, hey, like I have this gift for you that will just solve so many of your life stressors and how tired you are, how burdened you are by everything. Like it's almost just like, just do this, and I promise, like, just trust me and you will feel so much better if you do this. So it's almost just like someone loving on you and just asking you to trust them because they know that it's going to be so good for you. Not that they're saying like, no, like you need to honor this day. It's not like that. It's more like, no, this day was a gift for you. Like, please accept it because it's going to be so wonderful and just make your life so much better. Once I get that Sabbath rest, I'm so restored. I'm not even kidding you. I don't know how other people do it without honoring the Sabbath or like having a rest day like this, because it truly does help me to just keep going. I don't know how I would keep going without it. Honestly, I don't know how people do it. I always have thought that, especially since college. Like, I don't know how people do it without the Sabbath. Like, please tell me what works to keep you going, because it is like my secret sauce of how to thrive in life is the Sabbath, and it shouldn't be a secret. Like, everyone should do it because it's so great. But that is literally how I feel balanced in life, and I think that's what allows me to keep going and balance work, family, being a wife, being a mother, and you know, all the many things that we have in lives that we tackle on as in addition to those things. So those are the 3 verses that really stand out to me about the Sabbath. Of course, there's so much more, and I encourage you to study it, especially if you're not sure about the Sabbath. I definitely encourage you to find more of where it talks about it. That concludes this video. So I hope that you got something from this. So I would like to challenge you, if you are not already doing so, to give the Sabbath a try. It is such a wonderful gift to have and to embrace every single week. If you're feeling burnt out, if you feel like you need to do something different where you're more consistently adding rest to your routine, this is the way to go. I can pretty much guarantee that this will solve it for you. I mean, of course, you still need to sleep every day. Like, it's not gonna take all your rest away from throughout the week. You still need sleep throughout the week, but for a sustainable lifestyle to add on to that, this is the way to do it. Rest is not only for being awake, rest is not only for being asleep, it's also for when you're awake. We need our well-being days, our self-care days, and this is the day to do it. So I guarantee it will work and be helpful for you because God has gifted it to us, and I'm basically betting on him. I'm guaranteeing it because he's guaranteed it first. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you give it a try, even for 1 to 3 months. If you could try that way you can really get a sense of what works for you, what you need to do to honor the Sabbath and to feel restorative. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you get something out of it, and I pray that God will just keep burnout from your life and that you will feel rest and be restored in all that you do, and that you're able to be productive, fruitful, and reach all the goals that your heart desires. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you again in the next one. Bye, and remember to stay kingdom bound.